Hi friends, in this video I want to discuss about the topics lubrication and bearings. So the object of the lubrication is to reduce the friction of wear and eating of machine parts that move relatively to each other. A lubricant is any substance when applied between the relative moving parts which will reduce the friction and wear and carry away the heat generated. So the lubricants are broadly classified into three main groups, namely the solid, semi-solid and the liquid. So graphite, mica, chalk powder, soap, wax are some of the examples for a complete solid lubrication. And grease is the most commonly used semi-liquid lubricants. Varieties of grease are available, and vegetable oils, mineral oils, synthetic oils are the examples of the liquid lubricants. So what are the properties you're going to get? So the properties are the viscosity, oiliness, flash point, the fire point, the fore point and the float point. Coming to viscosity, viscosity is the measure of the internal frictional force or frictional resistance of a fluid. The absolute viscosity, also called as dynamic viscosity, is measured by the pass in SI unit. So the CGS unit will be measured in the poise. So coming to the next one, the oiliness. So oiliness is nothing but it is a combined property of a lubricant. The bearing surface is in contact. It is measure of ability of maintaining the unbroken oil film layer between the mating surfaces. The next one will be the flash point. The flash point is the lowest temperature at which the oil can give sufficient vapor to support the momentary flash on the introduction of the plane. The flash point should be well above the operating temperature of the bearing. When you go for the fire point, it is a temperature at which the oil gives out the sufficient vapor to burn it continuously when ignited. The pour point, it is the temperature at which the oil will cease to flow when it is cooled, and a good lubricant should have a low pour point. The cloud point, some oils appears cloudy when cooled. The temperature at which the oil becomes cloudy in appearance is known as the cloud point. The another important thing is the viscosity index. The viscosity index is used to denote the degree of variation of viscosity with the change in the temperature. So selection of the lubricant will be based on the following points. One is the relative speed between the members, the temperature range under which the lubricant must operate, the intensity pressure between the mating surfaces, the atmosphere in which the bearings will be operating, the life required, and the frictional losses which will be allowed with the condition, the method of applying the lubricant. The purpose of lubricant will be to reduce the friction between the moving surfaces of a machine part, to cool the parts by carrying away the heat generated, clean the parts by washing away the decomposition of carbon and metal particles, provide a protection against the corrosion, to increase the life, to seal the space between the piston and the cylinder, to cushion the parts against the vibration and the impact. So what are the requirements of the lubricants? The lubricant requirements will be sufficient viscosity, physical stability with regards to temperature and the pressure, high flash and fire point, chemical stability should be there, resistance to the emulsion, and easy fluidity at the low temperature. So coming on to different types of mechanism of lubrication is hydrodynamic lubrication. One type of lubrication film between the two contact surfaces thick enough and two contact surfaces are separated completely by a viscous oil film. So at this time the frictional force of the two contact surfaces are determined by the viscous resistance of the lubricant. The second one will be the boundary lubrication. So the lubricating oil film between the two contact surfaces is extremely thin, and non-viscous hydrodynamic oil films exist between the two contact areas, and only film of absorbed oil molecules exists. The third one will be hydrostatic lubrication. So hydrostatic lubrication is essential a form of hydrodynamic lubrication in which metal surfaces are separated by complete film of oil, but instead of being self-generated, the separating pressure is supplied by an external oil pump. So coming to the bearing. So bearing is a machine member which supports, guide and restrain the moving elements. All machineries are provided with the supports for rotating the shaft, and these supporting devices are called as the bearings. So it is a stationary member which carries the load. The portion of the shaft is supported by a bearing which is known as the journal. The common applications will be in the shafting in workshops, spindles of machine tools, just like a lathe, drilling and shaping machines, and automobiles, that is the axles of the automobiles. The friction is the resistance to the relative motion between the two surfaces in a contact. So the coefficient of friction is defined as the ratio of limiting friction to the normal reaction between the two bodies. So F will be the frictional force and Rn will be the normal reaction force. So mu will be equals to F by Rn. So how exactly the classification of the bearing will takes place? The classification takes place based on two things. One is the direction of the load and the nature of contact. Depending upon the direction of the load applied or supported, so it will be defined as classified as radial bearing, footstep bearing and thrust bearing. So depending upon the natural, it will be defined as sliding contact bearing or rolling contact bearing. And the radial bearing is also called as journal bearing. So design procedure for a journal bearing. So if the load is perpendicular to the axis of the shaft, then the shaft is known as the journal bearing, and that portion of the shaft resting on the bearing is called as the journal. You can see here the bearing and the journal or the shaft which is resting on the thing. So W will be acting radially on the shaft. So what are the nomenclature you're going to get? D will be the diameter of the shaft, C will be the diameter clearance, L will be the length, and psi will be the diametrical clearance ratio, that is C by D. Mu will be the absolute viscosity, N will be the speed in RPM, N dash will be speed in RPS, that is N by 60. P will be the bearing pressure, W applied load, T naught, TB and TA will be the temperature at operating, bearing and ambient. Mu will be the coefficient of friction, H minimum will be the minimum filament thickness, so V will be the velocity, S double dash will be the bearing modulus, beta will be the angle of bearing, Q will be the quantity of oil flow, and Nu will be the power lost in the friction. So first step in this one will be selecting a recommended design value for the given type of bearing and machine or a machinery from the table 24.2. That is, you have to select maximum pressure P, diametrical clearance C by D, a ratio of L by D, viscosity, that is you have to select, and bearing modulus S double S in SI unit you have to select from the table 24.2. Then the design, select allowable pressure as 50 to 60% of the maximum pressure. So P will be equals to W by L into D. So LD will be the projected area of the bearing. So L is nothing but the length and D will be the diameter of the journal. So from the rounding of the values of L and D, so you have to find again the pressure. It gives the actual pressure. So after finding L and D values, you have to find the pressure value. So that pressure will be the actual pressure you want to take further. Selection of oil. So based on, you want to select the viscosity from the first step, assuming the operating temperature between 60 to 70 Celsius. So you have to select the oil, type of oil from the table or a figure 24.2 from the given oil. T naught, select the nu, that is viscosity has to be selected. So check for the oil. Bearing modulus you have to select. So induced and recommended both you have to calculate. So induced you have to calculate by N dash, N actual divided by P actual. So if the bearing modulus induced is greater than the recommended one, so the thick film is lubrication is possible. If the thick lubrication is possible, then select oil is suitable. Otherwise you have to go for the next higher value of the thing and you have to select the oil again. So E is generated, so Hg is equals to mu into PL D into V. So V is nothing but pi d n by 60 and P will be equals to P actual. So using the figure 24.20 for the given L by D and S, note down the values of the coefficient of friction variable. So now you're going to take the coefficient of friction mu is equals to lambda mu into psi. So I'm going to get mu is equals to the equation. So from the equation 24.22. So where Ka, lambda, all the values will be taken and calculated. Next will be heat dissipated. So heat dissipated by self-contained bearing. So our equation will be 24.77. So take the equation and calculate the heat dissipated. So coming on to next, minimum film thickness. The minimum oil film thickness variable will be delta is equals to 2H minimum by C, that will be 1 by epsilon. So that I want to calculate. So epsilon will be equals to 2E by C. So C will be the diameter clearance, H minimum will be the minimum film thickness. So bearing characteristic number S is equals to nu N dash by P into 1 by psi square. So from the figure 24.13 shows the oil film thickness variable delta depends on S and L by D. For a side leakage, you have to go for figure 24.26, which shows the relation between the load correction factor CW, B by L and delta. So flow rate, so from the figure 24.37, so you have to find the flow rate variable depends upon the bearing characteristics number S and L by D. So lambda Q is equals to, we want to calculate the value. So oil flow through a bearing Q is equals to, so from the formula you have to calculate 24.70 formula, you want to calculate the oil flow through the bearing. And the power loss due to friction, N mu is equals to mu W V divided by 1000 into